What's up everyone, Combo Fiend here to introduce Rolento to you. So as you may know, we're doing something a little different here. With the previous 39 character change videos, we had a previous entity to compare with and show you the changes and things you should be looking out for with that particular character. With the new characters, we don't really have any reference point because cross-tagging doesn't really work here. So since we don't have any reference point for the character, what I'm trying to do here is show you some things you should be looking out for with the character and some tactics you could be employing to help get your game up that much faster. Now, some players may disagree with what they see here. That's fine, to each their own. But these are the things that I think you should be looking out for because they'll definitely boost your game up a little bit quicker. So the first thing you want to know with Rolento and his normals are his light punches. Rolento's light punches are his trademark here. And Rolento is ideally a threat from about here. You want to keep the opponent right there and just annoy them. This is the spot. So crouching heavy punch, standing light punch, whatever you want to do, standing heavy, that's pretty much the ideal range. You want to be at about the jab length, because that way they can't really do anything. You can see whatever they're doing and you just annoy them. You're not doing much damage, but at the end of the day, they're not doing any damage to you, so it's definitely a win situation. And if the jabs hit, you could always confirm just keep pressing it, and then do crouch medium kick or whatever other buttons suit your fancy. So crouching and standing light punch, critical for Rolento's spacing and just overall control. Very button you want to use is his stand medium punch. That's his exceptional anti-air attack. There are very few characters like Vega with his jumping heavy kick that may trade with it or beat it. For those guys, you want to employ the jumping light punch as an anti-air. If you can use Rolento's attacks in an efficient manner and mix them up between this and that, the opponent won't really know when to attack you, and it definitely gives you a lot more control. Also, Rolento's crouching medium kick and crouching heavy kick. The crouching heavy kick is pretty nice when used from far out. You have to look out for the opponent who might try to hold the focus. Don't do that. You want to fierce that guy instead. But the crouching heavy kick is really good whenever you just need to try to knock the opponent down in a surprising manner. Just don't abuse it, because then you get blown up. So let's see. Another good tactic to learn is after you, let's say, knock him down, you just use the pogo stick bounce. So the pogo stick bounce is down in 3 kicks and then medium kick. Or sorry, down in 3 kicks and then whatever button you want. But it's really good because it just allows you to mix the opponent up. They won't know what exactly to do, especially when you use it on their body after they're knocked down. It's just really tricky. So what you want to do is you want to start abusing the pogo stick when they're knocked down, because who knows what side you're going to end up on, and it might be a cross up, it might not be, who knows. It's definitely a good tactic to use, but not when the opponent is standing, because they can just knock you out of it and then you're just going to be annoyed. So yeah, keep that in mind. Another thing to use is the regular pogo stick. So this regular pogo stick move is throw invincible, beats low attacks. They can't really do anything damaging to you because you're considered airborne. So you definitely want to try to do something like that, and then when they wake up and throw you, it's like, no, I got you. And then keep up the pressure with some jabs afterwards. Pretty annoying. Keep that in mind. Another thing you want to take into account is the Patriot Circle. So the Patriot Circle is Rolento's bread and butter. It's what he's known for. Make sure you burn low medium kick into Patriot circles into your mind, as that will make him very threatening, very scary, and it will help you maximize the damage at all times. Also, his EX Patriot circle is really good just because it always will go into the Ultra 1. Definitely the way to go. So the Mekong Delta attack, this here, the 3 punches into punch, it's a great move for getting you out of tricky situations. He's airborne really early on, he's invincible really early on as well, and if you get hit out of the air doing this, you take very minimal air damage and not ground damage. So if you're looking for a way out. And a lot of people will say that, hey, Rolento kind of sucks because he doesn't have defensive options, or hey, people will say, hey, Rolento's extremely difficult to use because he has no defensive options. What you want to do is you just want to kind of backflip with that. And I mean, unless you become extremely predictable with it, you're not really going to face a big punish. And even if you are predictable with it, it's going to be really hard for you to face a big punish. So another defensive option you might want to look into if people are rushing it down is the Mekong Delta escape. This can be controlled when you could hold back and not really go anywhere, and if you pogo stick out of it, you know, you could always hold forward and go extremely far if you want to. And you know, this will help you to get away from the opponent, because sometimes you're getting rushed down too hard and you need them to get off you. So you know, the Mekong Delta attack, Mekong Delta escape, both really good options, both really hard to catch, you know, because you move the screen when you use them. Keep that in mind. Rolento is, as I said, meant to be played here. This is the ideal spot, so you know, try to do your best to get you into that range and just frustrate the opponent. As for ultras, Rolento has two ultras that are both really good in their own right. If you use Patriot Sweeper is good because you're always going to get it to combo. I mean, it's just part of Rolento's whole thing. If you just do a level 1, EX Patriot Circle, you get Patriot Sweeper every time, 100%. It's not even, I don't know, I don't even think it's all that difficult, to be honest with you. If you hit EX Stinger, you get the ultra off that. So I mean, it's just, it has such high juggle potential that you could pretty much combo it off of anything. So it's definitely the ultra you want to choose because you'll land it much more commonly. So as for his ultra 2, it's definitely situational. His ultra 2 can be used against projectile characters. That's the ideal matchup you actually want to use it in, just because if the opponent happens to throw an errant projectile, you're going to get 480 damage off that. And that is no laughing matter, especially when the opponent has less than 480 life. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. It's one of the ultras that are situational. Another way to use it is you could hit heavy kick into the ultra, and that combos. It doesn't combo there because that wasn't a counter hit, but if you have counter hit and you connect it, then what happens is good night, you get the win. So there are ways to set it up, and they are pretty awesome when you land them, but it is very situational, so make sure you use the right judgment against the right character, otherwise, you know, you'll never be able to use your ultra. So anyhow guys, that was Rolento in a nutshell. I can't wait to see what you guys end up finding out on your end. If you hope to employ these tactics, you know, more power to you, and I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with and, you know, you bring to me so I can up my game. Thanks guys.